This movie is not nearly as bad as people are making it out to be. That's it. That's my intro. Hi, I'm Amanda. You're watching Swell Entertainment. And it's been a while since I've ripped into an all-female spy movie. Not all females, but you know, like the main cast is women. It's been a while since I've done that. Previously, I reviewed Charlie's Angels, the remake. Wasn't good. The video's great though, if you want to go watch it. It's my second highest viewed video of all time, which is super fun. But like I said in the opening, this video is not nearly as bad as it's been made out to be. It took me a while to get into the theaters to go see this. I previously had COVID. I'm negative now, but I had to wait till I was negative until I was better to go to the movie theaters. I am still of the opinion that all movies are too long. 2.5 hours is too long. 2 hours is pushing it. This movie is a little over 2 hours. And even then, I think they put a lot into this movie. I don't have a whole lot of complaints overall. It's not a super fun, positive movie. Everything's corrupt, but we're the good ones. And it's not like, oh, we're women, so we're the good ones. And I don't think that that's the overall vibe that I got from this movie. Like, we're the good ones because we're women. That's not what's happening. And I want to make that clear. It just happens to be an all-female ensemble movie. And that was just the goal that Jessica Chastain had when she was trying to make this movie. This movie was filmed in 2019. The cast was announced early on. And originally, okay, so there's some issues with the casting here. That is like a whole thing, which I'm both impressed that they stuck with this casting. And also, I'm like, this was kind of not brilliant, but obviously this happened before the pandemic, so they had no way of really changing this. But considering how it ended up playing out, yeah. First off, really quick, Marion Cotillard was actually originally supposed to be one of the 355. The 355 comes in so much later. It's so not a thing. They could have reworked this whole thing entirely. Marion Cotillard was originally going to be in it, and then Diane Kruger came in instead. And honestly, I think this was Diane Kruger's movie. I think she swept the floor. I think she did great in this movie, and I do think she held people's attention, but she was also, you know, the fun, sassy one, the smart ass. That's usually a fan favorite of mine. But then also there was some questions about the casting, because also who was casted was Fan Bingbing. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I read an article saying that they compared to like Angelina Jolie of China, basically, is how she was described to me. She had some tax issues, I believe confirmed. I believe she pled guilty, where it was alleged that there was secret contracts being done for her movie deals so that she would have to pay less in taxes to the Chinese government, tax-wise. Like, she was trying to hide money, allegedly. Her casting in this movie was announced before this all came out. So the question was, are they going to keep her cast in the movie? And they did. The way they did this is she's actually not allowed to leave China. So all of her bits are filmed in China. She is not in the entirety of the movie. She's in a lot of the promotional images. She's billed as one of the main people. I believe the movie is already not being shown in China because of her involvement in it, which is something that China has done previously with other Chinese celebrities who have fallen from grace or committed criminal acts. All of her scenes were filmed in China. And sometimes it's very clear. She's in like the last third-ish of the movie. There's multiple times where it's very clear she is green screened in. It's very clear she is not there. It's a little uncanny valley. They tried very hard to make it so that you can't see that she's green screened, but I think that it just made her look fake. There's no other way to say it. It looked incorrect, especially when all the other women, they're not cropped the same way. And then they cut to her and she's like a little closer to the camera and just a little too touched up. It's just, I don't think it worked well. Basically, that's how they filmed her involvement and they maintained her involvement. She's in like the last third, but we'll get there. Okay, my main issues with this movie come down to Jessica Chastain's character herself. Mace. Jessica Chastain, I do think, is a very talented actress. I really do. I think it was the writing. I think it was the way your character was written. I really do. Because it wasn't working out. Wasn't working. Something was not right with the acting on your part for this movie. And I don't know if it's just because when you're compared to a bunch of other powerhouse actresses, you've got Lupita Nyong'o, you've got Penelope Cruz, you got Diane Kruger. Sebastian Stan is also in this. And I was looking forward to seeing this movie because of him. I am a fan of his. I do think that at the start of the movie, I was like, I'm kind of not into this. But then he turns evil. And then I'm like, oh, this fits better. That's why you're in this movie. Like, this fits way better. Evil suits you. It just works. My main issues with the plot of this movie, and what I think could have fixed a lot, was how they portrayed the dynamic between Mace and Nick. Let me explain the premise of the movie before I explain the relationship. There's two things done in this movie that I think are freaking stupid. Also, side note, this is fiction. I'm not here to be a good person, okay? I'm here to rip into a movie about good and evil and who has the power to wield what. I am not here to give moral... Yes, Hermes has opinions on my opinions on this fictional movie. I am not here to be like good, bad, all of that. No, I'm here to tell you what's better storytelling, because two things were done repeatedly throughout this movie where I was like, this is stupid. There's a way to fix this. They would kill the one person, or they destroyed the drive. They destroyed the thing that everyone's after. They had multiple occasions to do it, and they just don't. What? The movie starts with like a drug deal, okay? And they're like Colombian cartel or the Colombian Secret Service, whatever it is, are going to watch and then infiltrate. What ends up happening is it's not a drug deal. It's a demonstration of a super powerful drive thing that this dude's son made. And the drive has the ability to control any piece of technology anywhere in the world. You want to shut down a whole city's power? This drive can do that. You want to blow up a plane from the sky because of their technology? This drive can do that. Any planes in the world, this drive gives you the ability to have control over. I do think technology is something that has a lot more power to it and all of that. I'm not surprised that more movies like this are talking about things like this, you know? Not surprised. Everyone gets killed. The kid's bragging, the kid who made it, the guy that's thinking about buying it is like, can you make a copy? If you make a copy, it deletes itself. How do you make it? I'm the only one who knows how to make it. Cool. Bragging gets you killed. Kid dies. So does pretty much everyone, except for the guy who was trying to get the drive. The fact that he didn't reach over and grab the drive when they started shooting is stupid. Get shot in the shoulder. Do it. Maybe you get one in the head. Who cares? But at least you have the drive. Anyway, they get shoved out so they don't die. The drive just stays there. The agents come in, get the drive. Drive is now in this one guy's hands. He tries to sell it for $3 million so that him and his family can disappear. He contacts a bunch of people, including a CIA operative. He shopped it around. He was trying to get money so that he could disappear with his family. And then what ends up happening is that's where Jessica Chastain and Nick come in. They're going to go undercover into Paris because that's where he's hiding to get the drive, okay? So that the CIA has it. So their cover is Newlyweds, and Mace right away is like, oh, so you created this cover. This was your idea. And it's implied that he's been into her for a while or has been trying to make their friendship more, and she's not interested in it because her belief is that she loves her job. She loves being an agent. She's a workaholic, has no connections, doesn't have family, all of that. It's just Nick. They're just friends. And then he kisses her, is like, let me do something. Let me kiss you. And then she's like, you're my best friend. I don't want to ruin that. And then it's like she makes a decision and then starts taking her clothes off and says, come here. They have sex. Right off the bat, I think this was a problem. I think you should change that right away. Here's how we fix this. The whole thing can be fixed by this, because I'm going to tell you right now, those two don't have chemistry. I'm sorry. Sebastian Stan and Jessica Chastain, you guys seem really friendly on social media and all of that. You don't have on-screen chemistry. I didn't believe any of this. I think there's a way to fix this. The way to fix this is you change the dynamic between Mace and Nick so everything else in the rest of the movie can stay the same with less awkwardness. I don't buy that he's really into her. So if you change it so that it's more of a manipulation tactic and then it's more revealed, then it's a deeper gut punch to her than just, oh my God, the man I'm interested in is evil now, but he likes me too. He wants me to come with him. No, what you do is you switch it, because it seems like having them sleep together just seemed really awkward for timing. So what ends up happening is they go to do the drop. Marie, who is Diane Kruger, she botches the drop to get the money. She thinks she's grabbing the drive. She grabs money instead. She's working for the German intelligence. Nick goes after the mark. Mace goes after Marie, and they get separated. And we're led to believe that Nick is dead. He is killed by the man who originally wanted the drive. The mark gets away. Also, side note, at one point he takes a motorcycle to the leg. This part of the, hi, I'm wearing shorts, I promise. This part of the leg, he takes a motorcycle to that. No problem. None. But then one punch to the gut, one kick to the gut, that's enough to knock this man on his ass? No. The fight scenes we'll talk about a little bit. I do have some issues with them. And we're just led to believe that he is dead. I never once believed he is dead, because unless you show me a body, I don't believe he's dead. We only got confirmation that he was dead from a guy who was clearly, God, what's his name? He was like the director. Larry Marks. Marks is the like supervisor, the one investigating Mace once all this gets botched and all that. Because they basically allege that she took drive and that she's hiding it, or that they purposefully lost it for whatever reason. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense how they do it, but Marks is clearly dirty from the start. That's just my understanding, especially with what we find out about Nick later, that it was very clear that Marks was always dirty because of how close they seemed early on. So Marks is like, I saw his body myself. I confirmed it myself. Yeah, no, you're dirty. You're in this together. Anyway, she believes that he's dead. There's a flashback of them in bed together. Literally, it's like, I don't think this works. Because she is the one that instigates it. I think the way to do this, so that everything stays the same, fixes their dynamics, is if you kind of make it like they're partners. She's really into him. She's looked up to him. It's led to a crush, that type of thing. And he's just now giving into that. Or maybe he's just now reciprocating it. So it's more of a manipulation than anything. Because he was always going to manipulate her. That was always how this was going to go. This wasn't like, in the moment, I'm now choosing to be a bad guy. No, he was always going to botch the op, or get the drive, or give it over to the guy who wanted the drive in the first place. He was always working with him. This wasn't a new thing. Him being dead was just a happy accident now. Yay, this works better. I think that if they switched it so that it's more like, I am super into you, but you've made it clear you're not into me. And then he kind of is like, well, this could be like a trial run. Like, we're newlyweds. Let's lean into that, and then it's kind of shown like, oh, this is a chance of something happening. Like a little more of a manipulation tactic there. So then the reveal of him not being dead, but also not being good is more of a gut punch to Mace. Because I feel like it was just kind of more of like I don't know. She tries to manipulate him later. It's a whole thing. Anyway, skipping ahead. Luis is the guy who originally had the drive. He still has the drive. He goes back to his hotel room. He gets knocked on the door. It's, what's her name? Graciela. Grazi, I think is how they say it. She is his therapist. She works for his intelligence agency. She does not do field work. This is the first time her going off into the field because they don't trust him, but they want to get the drive. So they thought that he would trust her because she was his therapist, psychiatrist, all of that. They discuss it. He's like, I don't want to do this. And she's like, this way you can see your family and you'll be alive. They start walking out with the agents. Prior to that, we have Dej, I believe is how you say it. Lupita Nyong'o's character. She is out of fieldwork. Used to be MI6. Out of fieldwork. She's now like in tech, professor-like. She has a boyfriend. They're in love. It's very nice. And then Mace is like, I'm out on my own. They killed Nick. We need to get this drive. We need to find it. That's who botched the op. All thing. Basically, it's just all culminating. We're getting a team up. Luis and Gracie are traveling through like a fish market to get to a boat. They are turned on by their own men, okay? They were just gonna kill him and take the drive. Luis is shot. Gracie is freaking out and just trying to stop the bleeding and asking for help. Marie and Mace are fighting. The fight scenes in this movie, they're infinitely better. I'm gonna keep comparing this to Charlie's Angels. I know they're two different types of movies, but I'm just gonna keep doing it. The fight scenes are better. However, I do think I'm very picky about fight scenes. I really am. And I like to be able to see what's happening in a fight scene. I really do. I don't mind a lot of quick cuts. I don't like the shaky cam that kept happening where they would like zoom in on people's faces because then I can't really see what's going on. Also, some of these fight scenes are really drawn out. Like they kept cutting back and it's like, no, one of you's tired. I don't care if you keep training. One of you's tired, one of you's worn out. Super long fight scenes that I just think a little more messy. We need more of that. A little more fighting dirty because that's just what ends up happening. Eventually you get tired. You start fighting dirty. In the preview videos that they did about like behind the scenes and all of that, they kept talking about how everyone has their own fight scene. I don't think we saw it. I think it was all very over the top for every single person. I don't think there was like individual fight scenes for everyone. The only thing that was like individualized is when Fawn's character, Lynn, okay, when she turns and fights, she has like a staff. She like gets a pole from something, uses as a staff. And that's like the difference. It's mainly it. Side note, Mace and Marie had better chemistry than Nick and Mace the entire movie. I kept thinking they were going to bone or make out or something. At the end of the movie, they kind of made it open-ended like it would happen. Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part. I don't know. But I was like, you two should make out. This would be an instantly better movie. There's some tension here. It's kind of hot. I think we can make this work. Luis is killed, okay? But before he is killed, he transfers the tracker for the drive. The drive gets taken, okay, by one of the dudes. Luis transfers the drive. He basically made a tracker for the drive, and it's by touch only. So he transfers the touch from his touch to Gracie's touch. So now they need Gracie, so that's how she's brought in. Marie is like, oh no, a man was shot, and gets a guy's badge and uses that to take custody of Gracie and is trying to like get her to share where the drive is and what she knows and all of that. Very aggressive. I would have also told her nothing. Mace and Deej come in and it's like a whole thing they do. They're going to shoot each other. And I don't know why no one would shoot each other. Why wouldn't they just shoot each other? But then it's like, no, we need to work together. Do we really though? Honestly. Anyway, so they end up working together. Gracie tells them everything. They find the drive in Africa. They go to Morocco. Try to track where the handoff is. They follow these dudes. There's apparently a lot of bald men with goatees where they're at because that's how they kind of did the whole transfer where they just had two people who looked the same, which is probably a smart diversion, where they basically did a brush pass and transferred the drive between two dudes. So then the guy who originally thought they had it, they did a kill box, bunch of other people who are trying to get it. Because again, apparently everyone's after this drive. Kind of separate, get a hold of things. They start taking out the various other killers. So they're just killing people left and right. So I mean, the fact that they have no problem with killing anyone leaves what happens later to be dumb. They ended up basically going into a crowd, covering up with hair wraps and get the drive from this guy. They basically pickpocket him. And so he can't track where they are. They have the drive. They decide what's going to happen with the drive. We have a contact here in this country. Marie is like, why does it go to your people? I agree. Why should it go to the CIA? And the fact that they were not putting up more of a fight, they just like, we need to get rid of this and it needs to go to someone. My people are closer. That's why they decide. But can you trust your people? That's what this whole movie is asking, basically. We already know that Gracie's people turned on her. There's corruption within her organization at the very least. Oh, also, I should point out, Marie's organization constantly thinks she's a double agent. Constantly. Because her father was a double agent for the Russians. She turned in her own father, we're made aware of, which is why she's very, like, lone wolf. I don't know, if you're constantly worried about being accused of being a double agent, wouldn't you want to try and make more connections within your agency so they know that you have connections to the agency and that you're not just going to be a flight risk? Just my suggestion. They give it to the CIA. They give it to Marks. If Marks wasn't dirty, he was an idiot because he apparently was just chilling with the drive in this facility, the safe house. And we hear on the computer something about planes going down. He has the drive. He was clearly looking at the drive, unplugs it, puts it in his bag, closes the computer, gets up to leave. Why is he getting up to leave? It's revealed that the CIA were coming to get it, but then they were also alerted that like maybe Marks was dead because they come in guns blazing. There's no reason for them to come in guns blazing unless the alarm was tripped. So I don't understand why that happened the way that it did, but whatever. Anyway, what ends up happening is Fawn's character, Lynn, comes in and is like, I'm not here for you. Kills Marks. Dead. Takes the drive. Goodbye. What ends up happening is the women are all at a bar talking. They're bonding. They've just saved the day. They did it. Mace sees on the news that planes are going down. They're just out of nowhere going down. They've lost connection with a couple and she knows that that's the drive. She knows that's what that would do. Still don't get why they didn't just destroy the drive immediately, but that's just me. So they go back to where Marks is. Marks is dead. They search for the drive. They find nothing. CIA comes in, perfect timing. Obviously, it was tipped off. Something was going on. The lights get cut off. They kill a bunch of agents. This has already gone rogue, technically, because she went to avenge Nick at the encouragement of Marks. Okay, Marks encouraged her to go rogue. That doesn't seem like a red flag to you. That's just me. Whatever. For someone who's so smart, she's making a lot of dumb choices. Like just letting everyone be manipulating her. It's sad. Which is why if she was like in love with Nick, that's one thing versus we can't be together. No. You just need to have her be totally into Nick. Because then, again, that makes more sense of why she wouldn't want anyone else but Nick. Like, oh, you don't... There's a moment later where they do have the drive, and Nick's like, and Mace, you don't have anyone, so we have no one to threaten you. Like, but we can just, like, watch all your friends lose their loved ones. Like, it's like, yeah, if Nick was the one... Like, there's the isolation aspect of someone abusing you. You know? Like, there was something there. Wasn't fleshed out enough. I think we could have worked with that. They escape. They get more guns. They try to track the drive again. They cannot. So they start trying to figure out what's going on with the drive. They find out that the drive is going to be auctioned off at this insane auction. That's a legitimate auction for ancient art and antiquities in, I believe, Shanghai. Inside one of those artifacts is going to be the drive. The bidding on the drive is happening secretly on the dark net, at the same time as the normal auction. It's a proximity auction. You can't just like be at home and like bid on it. You have to be there. You know, it's proximity auction. You got that. I don't know why I explained it. I'm assuming you understood it. They get all dressed up, and that's where Mace sees Nick. Nick's not dead. Shocker? Not really. It was not a surprise, but it's clear that Nick is a bad guy now. He's like, you did it. You left her on your own. Would you have done that if I wasn't dead? No. How good does it feel to be free, to not be under their thumb? Just come with me. Join me. And she's like, no, I can't. They relink the tracker because they know they can't get a hold of the drive this way because it's happening secretly. Nick is surprised, alive. They now see all that he's alive. He bids on it. He bids over $1 million for a dragon's vase. And then inside it is the drive. So they do the transfer, all of that. He bid something like $500 million on the drive. It's a lot of money. There's this whole blowout. Mace is stuck with one of his guards, and Nick is like, keep an eye on her. She's a pretty face, but she's got some fire in her or whatever. Whole long, drawn-out fight scene that I don't think would take this long, but I don't know. Some of this could be fixed by editing. We could just not know where Mace is for 2 seconds. I think that's fine. Versus drawing out this super long fight scene that just would not, like, someone's dead now, Gets out, she's got the shit kicked out of her. And then they're all separated. Deej and Marie are trying to get in to get to the drive. They're doing the transfer of the drive and proving that it's the drive and all of that and that the money's there. Marie has had some demolitions things written up so that they make a bomb. Boom. You get it. You understand. The explosion was reported because obviously you have a bunch of rich people bidding on antiquities arts and a bunch of criminal people. Someone called the cops. Everyone has to evacuate, so they just take the drive and leave. As Nick is leaving with the drive, Mace walks up, kisses him. I'm coming with you. If I was Nick, I also wouldn't believe you. And then she pulls away and she's like, the only place I'd go with you to is hell. I'm sure you thought that was a cool line, Mace, but it didn't work. It didn't work. And he's like, go ahead and kill me. I'll have him shoot into the crowd. Again, it seems like she can't make that kill of him, and less so that because the death of one does not justify the death of the innocent is what I'm assuming that meant is supposed to be like, he's a bad guy. I can't kill him to make myself feel better because he'll just fire into the crowd. Boom. Boom. Done. Sorry, could you see? Boom, boom. You need to see my kill Nick, kill his goon. That's it. That seems, okay, cool. You've killed people before. You're an agent. Do it twice. And then it's done. And then you have the drive. And then you destroy the drive. But instead, it's like, can't do it, can you? And then he walks away. She lets him leave with the drive. You already know that people are dying in planes because of this drive. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible person. 2 or 3 people dying in a crowd over the millions that could die with this drive. Pick your battles. You chose wrong. Anyway, Mace is upset. Marie is there. Gracie there. Deej is there. And then suddenly, Lynn's there. Come with me. She's been the host of this whole event. It's revealed that she killed Marks. And it's like, Marks was working with Nick. Duh. But anyway, that's the whole reveal. And again, should have made that assumption. Why did she not question? I know a lot's been going on for Mace, but it's like, that Nick was confirmed dead by Marks. But obviously Nick's not dead. So would you not question Marks' comment? Just me. Anyway, they go with Lynn. Lynn is revealed to be working with her father. Apparently, the drive that they gave Nick was not the real drive. It was a decoy because the whole thing was a fishing expedition. Apparently, all the planes going down was an advertisement, and it wasn't her doing. It was Marks. Again, it's revealed that Marks is the one that was using the planes, which again, we as the audience know because we heard the thing on the computer that he was looking at. He had the drive. Obviously, he was the one taking down the planes. Whole thing, there's a lot of back and forth. They talk with their kids. They talk with their families. Gracie's the only one with children, but everyone else has someone. Even Marie has someone who's like a father figure to her. She's hurt when he suspects her of being a double agent and that she crossed them to go with the CIA and all of that. So there's a whole thing there. I am not my father and you're not either. Good line. Again, she killed this role. Still out here killing it, Diane. You're doing great. Again, there's another moment between Mace and Marie. Again, should have just made out. Deej, again, is like kind of lying to her man, but he also kind of knows that she's going back into the field. So it's like, I can't tell you, but I'm in danger. Kind of sucks. They're not destroying the drive. They have the drive. They see the drive. They're just playing with it. They're looking at the tech of it all. I don't know why we don't kill the drive. And then they know someone's coming in. There is an explosion. Someone bursts through the windows. They know someone's coming in. They unlock everything. They have time to hide it. You have time to smash the drive. Smash it. Shoot it. The end. Done. Nick saunters in. Show on the screens that they have Gracie's kids, Deej's boyfriend, Marie's mentor, all at gunpoint. And then Nick goes, not you, Mace, though. You have nobody. And they're just like, where's the drive? Marie's mentor says, if you give it to him, millions will die. Like, more than us. He straight up says, like, you cannot give it to them. More people will die. And so they don't tell him. He's now dead. So does Deja's man get killed. But apparently killing children is the line that this movie will not cross. Also, side note, Penelope Cruz killed it. Again, she's not meant to be there. She wasn't supposed to be doing field work. They just keep tagging her along. They already don't need her at this point anymore. I don't know why they keep tagging her along, aside from the fact that, like, oh, if your people are after you because they think you have the drive. So if you go home, like, you're going to bring the drive with you. But again, it's like, put her somewhere else, hide her. Don't keep bringing her along. But like they did. So now it's like, hey, if her kids die, it's on all of you. They point to where the drive is. Side note, why the goons didn't just start smashing shit? They killed Lynn's dad, by the way. He was there with them. Killed him in the moment. Done. So everyone's... The fact that Nick lets the family go, it's like, let him go. It's fine. But then also he lets all the women live. Just walks out. It's like, you lost. The end. You have a connection to Mace, but none of these other women. You're already dirty. None of their organizations know where they are. I don't get the motivation. Everyone's dumb in this movie. Oh my God. You're supposed to be badasses and you're not doing this shit. Come on. He leaves, has it, gonna do the whole thing. They bring Lynn with him to help unlock and improve that it's real as collateral. So they bring Lynn with her. The women are alone, freaking out because there's 2 dead bodies just left on the screen. They just left it up. Stone cold shit. Love that. So I'm a terrible person. Mace is like, can you get that off the screen, please? Come on. They go to move it. And then all of a sudden, a live stream pops up and they see Nick. Lynn's got her glasses on and there's a camera in her glasses. She's showing them where to go. And Dee's just like, let's go. And Mace is like, no, you need to go home. And she's like, no, I need to do this. And it's like, her man is dead. I know she's upset, but like, it's time to avenge. Vengeance. Let's do it. That's the time. They're at a hotel. They go and do this. There's this whole thing. They're going to blow up the up and down so that they don't just walk into the elevator and get shot immediately. Fair. There's an explosion. Mace climbs up the side. Bond fights back. Some of this is filmed clearly like she's there. Others, it's very clear when it's a green screen and when it's not. She's a little out of focus when she's not in a green screen. She's sharing a shot with other people, like it's very clear when it's not a green screen and when it is. That's all I'm saying. Fight scene. Da-da-da-da-da. It takes forever. They don't kill Nick. They shoot Nick, but they don't kill him. And also, side note, there was no need for them to be like, he has a pulse. He sat his head up. He's like, we know he's alive. I don't know why they did that whole thing like it was going to be a cliffhanger. Marie gets shot. She's fine, though. It's a whole thing. Finally, they smashed the drive. Finally, the drive is smashed. But they're all on the run. Okay, they're all being sought after. 2 months pass. Nick goes back to the guy who had hired him and is like, you can keep working for me. He's like, I've got 10 guys outside. He's like, no, you had 10 men outside. It's like, you lost to a bunch of girls. Oh, they're next. I'm going to kill them next, is what Nick says. Kills the guy that he worked for. And then it cuts to Nick. He now has Marx's job at the CIA. He's now in authority position at the CIA. Goes home. Mace is there. There's this whole thing about you're upset because you're on the run and I'm not. I'm the one that did the criminal activity. You're the one that stopped me, but I'm the one that's promoted. You broke a lot of rules. You killed a lot of people and you're surprised that they chose me. Yeah, actually, what the fuck? But that's the whole thing. It's like everything's corrupt. All of our agencies are corrupt. That's what they're trying to show. Have you ever heard the story? Or God, it's like it's a brain teaser or something. I don't know what it's called. 2 men walk into a bar. They order the same drink. One of them drinks their drink really quickly. One of them doesn't. The man who drank his drink slower dies on the spot. Both drinks were poisoned. How did one die and one didn't when they both drank the same drink? The same amount of the drink, because the poison was in the ice. So when you drank it slowly, the ice had time to melt and release the poison into the drink. Whereas the guy who drank it quickly, the poison didn't have time to be escaped into the drink. That's that story. That's basically what this is. He's like, you want a drink? And she's like, sure. Do you want ice? I never take ice. So his drink has ice and hers doesn't. Anyway, they don't kill him. They just paralyze him so that he can go to prison in a foreign country. Should have just killed him. He was going to kill you. He's made it clear he was going to kill you. They do the whole 355 reveal. I don't think calling it 355 is enough, because it implies that she's working for someone. Washington's first female spy, secret spy, the 355. Called her that because they didn't know her name. Someone knew her name. They just didn't want the world to know. That implies you're working for someone. I don't get it. Does not fit. Should have done something different. The 355 does not fit. We're the 355. No, doesn't work. Anyway, they all go their separate. We're a race. We have clean slates. Deej leaves, I'm assuming to go back to the UK. Grassi leaves, I'm assuming to go be with her family. They don't have clean slates because I'm assuming like they have to relocate now, obviously. And Grassi's got her family. She's to relocate with her family, I'm assuming. And then Mace and Marie are alone. There's the awkward little moment. I was like, yeah, you two want a bone. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening. That's why she, if we're going to stick with the original thing, it's like, yeah, she was never really actually into Nick. It was just like a respect thing. It was, they were partners, and so they got close because of that. But it's because she never actually went anywhere or, formed any other legitimate connections because she was secretly into women. I think that that's something that we could have done. Maria's unlocking that part of her brain. I don't know. I think this could work. It's like, goodbye. And Maria's like, yeah, I don't think that's the case. Go their separate ways. The end. End of movie. Again, the movie is surprisingly watchable. It's not terrible. I just think there are tweaks that would make it better. And there were certain things that I think writing-wise were just super awkward. And again, Jessica Chastain. I think it was just the way her character was written. Because again, certain things just didn't fit. I don't know how else to explain it. I think it had to have been how your character was written because it just didn't fit. It didn't work out. I do think that one tweak with your relationship with Nick would work way better. So anyway, that's going to be it. That's a 355. The 355 got, let's see, what's their gross? The film is estimated to cost anywhere between $40 and $75 million. At this time, it has made a total of $8.4 million. See, I don't know if how it would have done otherwise. I've spoken about this previously. I don't think we're at a normal level with movies yet. And I think that we're experiencing an Omicron surge and all of that. Hi, I got COVID. That prevented me from going and seeing it. I would have seen this opening day otherwise, probably, because I would have made a video on it. I mean, I think it's that. I think Spider-Man is still in theaters. I think there's more movies coming out. I'm very interested to see how Scream does. The next Scream movie coming out. At the time of me recording this, the movie's out now. So I'll be interested to see how it does opening week. I don't know. This is a movie that probably should have done streaming. I know that sounds bad. I know I shouldn't keep saying that, but I just think that, all the help you can get, I don't think there's any way, especially when you're missing out on China, because I'm assuming they had to have known Fan Bingbing's involvement was going to continue to be a point of contention with Chinese authorities. Can I say that? I'm assuming. And letting the movie be shown there. So I'm assuming that was something they knew. And so they were already going to be missing out on that market. So I don't think it helps, that it's also during a pandemic. 8.4 million, I think, is not good, but I think it's expected, frankly, when you look at all the other elements. The movie's not bad. There's just tweaks that I would make from a storyteller's perspective. And also, why does no one just smash the portable charger looking Thrive? Why don't we just don't do that? Anyway, that's it. That's going to be it. Did you watch the 355? Did you have any intention of seeing the 355? Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder, I have a podcast, the Swell Shenanigans podcast. Reminder, I have merch like that mug back there. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd also like to support me on Patreon, that'll be listed down below. Like to follow me on my social media. That'll be up here. And that's going to be it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. No, seriously though, Sebastian Stan, being evil suits you. You looked really good in this movie.
Thank you, Alan, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Cody, Colton, Crash PC, Destiny, Devin, Dirty Wendell, Elliot, Evan, Feckless, Hopeless, Hollow, Jacker, Ray, Joe, John M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kevin, Kim, Kristen, Lauren, Lamb, Lex, Lisa, Luis, Matt O, Matthew S, Me, Lord the Red, Michael, Micah J, Nathaniel, Pat, Penn, Rob, Robert Ross, Sam, Serena, Skylar, Simon, Tasha, Timothy, Tom, Wendy, Williams, Zendry.